And it's time for the battle of the squonks. I've got Lewis here to help out on this one because we want to get a second opinion.
Yep.
And what we're going to do is have a look at all the budget squonk mods, have a go through them and see which one is the best in our opinion. So what we've got on show, we've got the Pulse from Vandy Vape coming in at £40. The Athena from Geekvape coming in at £35. Lewis has
the Dripbox here. This is coming in, if I remember right, £15.
£20.
£20, my bad. And we've got the Nudge. I don't remember where it's from.
Wotofo.
Wotofo, there you go. More knowledgeable than I am. And this is the Serpent BF RDA, is it?
Yeah, also from Wotofo.
There you go.
So we've got these four. We're going to be running them. We're going to be swapping the RDAs about. Just having a quick try on them, seeing which one we prefer. All the RDAs are running the same build. Just on the Pulse here, you can see in there we've got spaced 5-wrap coils, just using Canthol 22 gauge. So that's all that's in the builds. The only one that's different is the Dripbox, and that's because that comes with pre-built coils. It's got resistance testing in there, so it will only go down to 0.2 ohms. The rest of the builds that are in here are 0.16 to 0.18. So the builds are a little bit too low to actually go into that mod there. If you want more information on that, check out the review video I did on the Dripbox. There'll be a quick link up the top there somewhere, one of the sides, I never remember which one. That's it, we're going to get down, have a vape on all these bad boys, and we'll come back with our opinions on them. So we've had a vape, we've had a chat, we've had a vape and a chat, and a chat and a vape, and we are ready to decide on what works best for us. Now, we're going to split this into sections. First section we're going to talk about are the RDAs. Now, we're pretty much in decision on which one we don't like, and that's going to be the Serpent BF. Now, this one was not part of the kit. It was a Wotofo RDA that I got to go with the Nudge. Price point on it was £15. I did a full review on it, and essentially what we feel is the airflow is too tight. You're not getting enough draw off it.
Aye.
And you get quite a bit of spit back from it. It also heats up a lot. Did I miss anything on that?
Apart from the heat up, which can be circumvented, I think you've pretty much covered up everything.
Yeah, I mean, the flavour that comes off it is great.
Oh, it's great.
It's great flavour, it's just limited on what it's got.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty much it for the Serpent. That one's out, that's number 4. RDA number 3 will surprise you, we both agree.
It was the Dripbox?
Yeah, Dripbox. It's not got a name, this one, it's not available separate, it's part of it. But we both agree it is a nice one.
It feels really nice, and that's coming from a new vapor. It feels really smooth.
Yeah, this whole device has been my go-to driving vape for a while. It's not a big cloud chucker, the flavour's pretty much on point, and there's plenty of airflow, so it is a good little one. Then we came down to the Athena and the Pulse, so this is what we have.
This one was difficult.
We really had a tough time deciding which one we preferred on these. The Athena, it's got that nice build, it's got that high deck, it's got the top airflow, so it's really easy to squonk with. It's very hard to over squonk with this one, and the turbulent airflow from the top produces amazing flavour, but this came in at number 2 for us.
Yeah, we both agreed. It just pales in comparison to our number 1.
So number 1 is the Pulse 24. This has the feed down airflow, goes under the coils, brings the flavour up, and the build deck is just amazing to build up on. It's really easy to build on. You just drop your coils straight in, you get them cut, drop it down, get them leveled off with where the airflow is. The flavour just comes straight up. You can over squonk on this because of the air holes, but it's very hard to do, and when you squonk it's got that nice release action and you get that sound. So the squonk is really good on this one, and the flavour that just comes through is...
And again, he is the expert on building. I'm just giving the new vapors perspective, and for me, it's all about the airflow. It just feels super smooth. You get tons and tons of flavour on it. It just feels amazing to hit.
So, yeah, that's our choice of RDA. So we're both in agreement that the Pulse 24 is the one from this set. So we're going to have another little vape, another little chat, and we'll come back with our choice of mods.
Hopefully no fights.
So now we're going to have a look at the mods. Now we can't agree on this, so we've got different orders that we're going to do. So Lewis is going to do his order on the mod. Now this is just the mod, it's not the kit, it's not the RDA, it's just the mod. Okay, so take it away.
Right. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell you my least favourite. And for me, that's going to be the Pulse. I just don't like how exposed it looks. It feels really nice in the hand, but for me it just feels too big. And I'm not a huge fan of the magnets on it. They feel really loose. My third one, which would be the Athena. Again, goodish magnets, not great. Feels much better in the hand than the Pulse did. But again, it's got some minor problems, like the side panel here, it kind of wobbles. And sometimes your thumb will get caught in the actual squonk bottle, especially if you've got massive thumbs like this guy.
True.
He's not even arguing.
Not going to argue with that one, it happens every time I use it.
Surprisingly, my second favourite was actually the nudge here. And again, it comes down to these, like that. The battery was great. It's got a lot more safety features, which as a new vapor, that is amazing to me. I love that. Less chance of it blowing up. Again, bit of a problem with slide, but it's not a killer for me. And there isn't, if I remember right, any way of indicating which way the batteries go.
No, there's no indication on the inside. If you want more info on this, check out the review.
He'll probably leave a link.
Yeah, I go into full detail on all the safety features of that device and all the downsides of it as well. So
there you go. And again, if it wasn't for the RDA, this might be one of my tops. But my absolute favourite as a new vapor, it's gonna be the Kangertech. It's really ergonomical, it feels really great in the hand, and it's more regulated than any of the others, so safety, safety. I'm a new vapor, I don't need anything blowing up. It's really great where the battery is and how you get the squonk bottle out. The magnets on the bottom for the squonk bottle, they're great, I like them. And overall, I just really like this whole thing, and it came down to a price point for me, because if I remember right, this was one of the cheapest ones.
it is the cheapest, it's only £25 for that kit.
So as a new vapor and as a student, that is a big point for me. So that's my opinion. I'll give this man his shot.
Okay, so we're gonna have a quick vape and then come back with my mods. Okay, so now it's my turn on the mods. So, very similar sort of order. I've got an order here, and coming in at number 4 for me is Nudge. Now, as Lewis said in his, there are some issues with this. The door comes off, the sliding on the door, it makes a lot of noise there. I do get my thumb stuck in it quite often. There's also a couple other things. The lock button, there's a lock button that locks off that's really hard to get a grip on, especially if you've got sticky fingers from your juice. It's impossible to use. I do like the safety features in it. It's slightly regulated. It's got some wiring and stuff in there. It's also got the fuse in there to stop for any short circuiting. So despite that though, it is a bit chunky in the hand. It's plasticky. I do like the design on the bottom there, but this one coming in number 4 for me. Number 3 is going to be the Kangertech. Now, I do like the design on this. I do like the ergonomic. I do like the squonk bottle location on this. It fits really nicely in the hand. This has been my go-to driving vape for a long time. It doesn't produce the massive clouds like the other ones do, so it's a really nice mouth-to-lung device more than the direct one. So not massive clouds off it, but you're still getting all that flavour come through. So this one, I do like it, and it does fit very nicely in the hand. And it's got all those safety features. Go check out the review for more info. Then we come to the big 2. Now this is really tough. Both of these two I do like. I do like them both a lot. The Pulse was the first squonk I got, so it's obviously got a dear place in my heart. And from my other videos, you know I'm really looking forward to the Pulse 80. So it is kind of hard. The Athena, though, edges the win in this one. So the reasons for this, the Pulse is that bit chunkier. It does take the 2700 battery, so it's got that bit extra battery life. But it just feels plasticky, it does. The panels do come off very easily. The magnets on it, you can see them there, they are tiny. So they're there. It does have that safety feature of the little switch there on there, but that loosens up itself. You have to take the panel off to get to that. The button itself is a bit springy. It's not very clicky, there's not a lot of response to it, and it is a slightly bigger mod. Not a big issue to me, I've got pretty big hands, but it does come in second to me. Now, number one, I'm going to give it to the Athena here. It's slightly smaller, it fits nicely in the hand. It does have the slight move on the panel there, and every time I squonk, the panel comes off in my hand. So it does have its downsides as well, but we are talking budget mods here, so downsides I can live with. It's slightly sharp on the edges, but that's not a problem. It's not too sharp, so you're not going to cut yourself on it. It does also have a safety feature at the front here, which is that you can now not fire it. The fire button doesn't go. So that in itself is a good point. You don't have to take it apart to stop it from firing. And the button, it's not as springy, it's nice, it's a little bit clicky. It's all good. So that one, definitely my number one for the mod. So the next bit is going to be the kit. So these are kits with the exception of the nudge. Now we're going to count the nudge with the serpent as a kit because the two options there come in at a similar price point, so this could be bought, the two parts, as a kit. Okay. So, full kits. Now, as said earlier, we're going to count the nudge with the Serpent BF as a kit. Now, we're in agreement on the first two on this, so the nudge...
That's last.
That's last. And mostly that is down to the Serpent. The Serpent,
Yeah.
we're in agreement, we don't like. Compared to the others,
It's
no.
a shame, really. The nudge is a good mod on its own.
Yeah, we've put the other RDAs on it. We've run it with the Athena with the Pulse on it.
Yeah.
It runs fine with them. But as a kit, it kind of knocks it out. So, unfortunately, bye-bye nudge.
Bye-bye.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, off you go. Then in number 3, once again, we're in agreement on this. We're going to put the Kangertech. We do both like this. It is a good mod. It's very good for an entry-level mod into
definitely.
squonking. Especially if you're not into building, because you can buy the replacement decks. It is a very good little mod for starting out. And it does get a recommend and a thumbs up.
Yeah,
So.
and as a new vapor, it just feels really nice to use. And look at those clouds. If you want to, they can really chuck them.
Yeah. So then we come down to the last two. So once again, we have the Athena and we have the Pulse coming in here, and we have a difference of opinion on this. Personally, I put this one in at number 2.
And personally, I put this one in at number 2.
And conversely, we swap them over.
Yep.
I put this at number 1.
And this is number 1 for me.
So they're both really good devices, and I think the final point it came down to was the price.
Yeah.
And there's a £5 difference. That's it.
And again, as I've said, new vapor, a student, and I don't get much cash anyway. The price point is a massive thing for me.
Once again, I am a student as well, but I do also work, so price point's not quite as much bad a point for me. And as a kit, these are all my mods, so I have bought all of these. So price point is a factor, but I'm one of these guys who likes my mods, so I'm getting them anyway. So that's pretty much the kits. Kit-wise, we can't agree, but these two are definitely the top 2. Now, but what we've decided to do is have a little play about and decide on what our best combination is. So we're going to come back and we'll show you what that is. So we've done a bit of swappy, and you'll see we've got the pulse on top of the Athena and the Athena on top of the pulse, which does sound like a strange sex position, but that's not what we're actually doing.
No.
So this is purely for testing. We've taken the other two out of contention here. We do like these two a lot, and in this combination, we're pretty much unanimous that this one is number 2. So
Did we get you?
So there we got the pulse with the Athena on top. Nice combination, but the winner overall is the Athena with the pulse. The design of the mod, this came out as my favorite mod.
Yeah.
And it's essentially my favorite mod with my favorite RDA. So
Although we are agreed on the RDA.
we are agreed, and the RDA just gives the best overall flavor.
Awesome.
The airflow is just there for it, and it is great. And the mod, just preference on the mod, is just so much better feeling, better using, and just a preference. Can't go wrong with that.
No.
That's pretty much it for this. So here's our overall review. The best squonk mod you can get is the Athena with the pulse on top. So if you were expecting an actual kit, I'm sorry, we've come out with a combination.
We just couldn't do it.
Now, the good news is you can actually buy these two parts separately. So you can buy an Athena mod and a Pulse 24 as separate units, put them together. But it does work out cheaper to buy the kit complete.
Yeah.
So hopefully this has given you plenty of information on what to do. And which option to go for, but overall, this is the one this is the combination that we both agree would be the best one to go
definitely,
for.
Dude.
So that's it. We'll come back with all our lovely end screens and stuff like that.
Possibly some outtakes.
Want to do that again? So we've had a little bit of adjustments, and we now have the pulse sitting on top of the Athena.
And the Athena sitting on top of the pulse.
Now these are not sex positions, do not try this at home. But this is what we've come up with as workable solutions, and we're in agreement on what we prefer of these.
Definitely.
We've taken the other two out of contention on this. We're both in agreement that they're not quite as good as these. And our personal preference is this one. So the Pulse 24 sitting on top of the Athena, like the Athena mod, sits very nice. It's got that nice lock off on the front. Good. And then the Pulse with the airflow just hitting that flavour. The combination works brilliantly. So
the only real downside to the Pulse is that it is quite easy to over squonk.
Comparatively.
Yeah.
If you're talking easy to over squonk, the Serpent's way easier to over squonk. So there is that. But as an overall combination device, this would be what we'd say. The good news is that both sections, so the RDA and the mod, can be purchased separately. You're going to be paying a bit more than if you buy a kit, but it is an option. So the best mod that we are recommending you get is the Pulse with the Athena. So get both and then you're sorted.
Yeah, either way you win.
So there we go. That's our opinions on this stuff. Pretty much that's it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All the links at the end of the videos. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at OnePurpleMongoose. That will pop up. And
I'm going to throw up my Twitter here. I'm at LewisJ277.
Okay, and all the usual stuff. And as ever, vape on.